To ask teachers to assume custodial duties is an absolute outrage. It's just as outrageous as it would be if we asked custodians to teach classes. In 2000, Don Allen, president of an American teachers union, said this to CBS News. "The one who cleans and the one who teaches. Two separate jobs, never to be swapped." In the English-speaking world, this is simply how it is. In Japan, a 10-year-old does that job every day. The classroom, the hallway, the toilet. And nobody is paying them anything. The Japanese just love cleanliness. People say that a lot, but what is cleaning, really? Why in this country is cleaning not somebody's job? That is what this video looks at. To find the answer, we go back from the kitchen of a Zen temple to a classroom 2,500 years old. Stay to the end, and the hands of a child holding a rag will look a little different. A Japanese elementary school. Lunch ends and cleaning time begins. Roughly 20 minutes every day. The students split into small teams, each with its own territory. Classrooms, hallways, toilets. The places they used all morning, wiped down by their own hands. In some schools, they say, the 6th graders walk over to help the 1st grade rooms. No adult does this work in a Japanese school. Nobody is hired for it, nobody is paid for it. So the children do it. Every day, for 6 years. And last month, June 2026, this habit appeared on American soil. At the World Cup, after the final whistle, Japanese supporters stayed behind in the stands. They pulled out garbage bags and moved along the rows, clearing the seats around them. The same scene had played out in Russia and in Qatar. This time, American fans watched it in their own stadium. Some of them wrote the conclusion themselves, online. "We have to admit it, we really are undisciplined slobs." Scott North, a sociologist at Osaka University, explained it to ESPN. Cleaning up after football matches is an extension of basic behaviors that are taught in school, where the children clean their school classrooms and hallways. In his eyes, the stadium seats and the elementary school hallway sit on one straight line. So how far back does that line run? This time, we are not looking at laws or the education system. We are going after the deeper source of this feeling, in the hearts of the Japanese who came before. We turn the clock back 800 years. To a monastery kitchen in China. The year is 1237. A Zen monk named Dogen writes a short book called the Tenzo Kyokun, Instructions for the Cook. A Tenzo is the monk who runs the kitchen of a Zen monastery. Inside the book is a scene from Dogen's youth. He is in China, training on Mount Tiantong. It is midsummer, under a blazing sun. In the courtyard, an old monk is laying out food to dry, bent over the hot ground, alone. He is the Tenzo of the monastery. He is 68 years old. Dogen watches him work and asks, why not have the laborers do this? Notice the question. It is Don Allen's question. This work is beneath your position. Someone else should be doing it. 800 years earlier, on the other side of the world, Dogen starts from exactly the same place. The old man answers, others are not me. If another man does it, the doing is not mine. Dogen tries again. The sun is brutal, surely this can wait for a cooler day. The old man answers, if not now, when? 2 questions, 2 answers. That is the whole exchange. Dogen carried those words home. He returned to Japan in 1227 and later founded the monastery of Eiheiji. There, cooking and cleaning were not errands that sat outside the training, things to be finished quickly so the real practice could begin. Zen has a word for this daily labor, samu, work done as spiritual practice. Sweeping a corridor, chopping vegetables, wringing a cloth. Moving your hands became, in itself, the practice. Not preparation for the path. The path. Now a second window. Zen is not the only current here. This time, the story of an 8-year-old. In 1189, The Confucian scholar Zhu Xi writes a preface to the Great Learning, one of the central texts of Confucian education. In it he describes the old curriculum. When a child entered school at the age of 8, the first things taught were saiso, otai, shintai. Saiso, sprinkling water and sweeping the ground clean. Otai, how to answer when spoken to. Shintai, how to stand, sit, and carry yourself. Not reading. Not writing. Not the classics. Learning began with cleaning, and the books came later. But this idea had opponents. It has had them for 2,500 years. The Analects of Confucius, Book 19, preserves the argument. Ziyou, a disciple of Confucius, criticizes his fellow disciple, Zixia. The students of Zixia, he says, are perfectly good at sweeping and answering and moving about. But these things are mere branches, trivialities. Where is the root? Zixia hears of it and fires back, head on. Is cleaning a triviality at the edge of learning, or is it the body of learning itself? 2,500 years ago, people were already split over this. Serious people, on both sides. And the argument was never settled. No one won it. Which means the question we opened at the start, what is cleaning really, is not ours. It was opened in a classroom 25 centuries ago, between two students of Confucius. It has stayed open, all the way down to today. Here we stop for a moment and dig under our own feet. And what comes up is not what you would expect. The Japanese of the past did not clean for themselves. The ancient imperial court kept an office for it, the Kamenryo, a government bureau whose entire job was cleaning the palace. Cleaning was so much somebody's job that it had its own department. In the old picture scrolls, the figures holding the brooms are not the nobles. They are toneri, low-ranking attendants, and monks. The nobles are elsewhere in the picture, being served. Koizumi Kazuko, a historian of Japanese furnishings and daily life, has traced this record. Now move forward 1,000 years, to Meiji Japan, the late 19th century. Open a home economics textbook from that era, and the person assigned to the cleaning is the servant. Still somebody's job. Only in the Taisho era, in the early 20th century, does the housewife take over the page. And according to research on those textbooks, the claim that cleaning matters for the spirit does not appear until after the mid-Taisho years. That is within the lifetime of photography. So the habit we saw at the start, everyone cleaning their own place with their own hands, is surprisingly new. The idea is 800 years old, the habit is not. And that deepens the question, because it removes the easy answer. This was never an ancient custom passed down unbroken. It is a new habit. A new habit can be planted anywhere. So why did this one sink its roots so deep in this country alone? The deeper you dig, the more comes up. An early Buddhist sutra, the Ekatara Agama, teaches that sweeping carries 5 merits. To sweep was, in itself, to build virtue. Buddhism also kept the story of Shuri Hendoku, a disciple who could not memorize a single verse of scripture. The slowest student in the room. He was given a broom. He swept and kept sweeping, and through sweeping reached enlightenment. Every other disciple studied words. He was saved by a broom. Not memorizing, but sweeping, became his path. Then the Edo period. Cotton spreads through Japan, and the cleaning rag reaches the hands of ordinary people. For the first time, wiping a floor is something anyone can afford to do. And the records say a new judgment appears with it. A house left uncleaned is a slovenly house, and its people are blamed for it. Cleaning is no longer faith, no longer training. It has become everyday morality. A Zen manual, a Buddhist sutra, a Confucian textbook, a tenement kitchen. Look for things that say almost the same thing, and you find them everywhere. Step back and look at what we have gathered. The words differ. Zen called it practice. Confucianism called it the beginning of learning. The sutras called it merit. But every one of them points at the same single spot. Cleaning is not a job you hand to someone else. It is an act you do yourself. The soil came first, that is the point. For centuries, separate rivers flowed down into this one spot and built up the ground. Zen from one direction, Confucian schooling from another, the sutras from a third, the tenement morality of Edo from a fourth. None of them planned it, none of them knew about the others. But the ground kept thickening. Then, in the modern era, a seed fell on it. The new habit of children cleaning their own schools. A seed like that can be dropped in any country. It took root and held in the place where this soil already lay. The influence of culture cannot be proven the way a law can be, with documents and dates and signatures. Culture does not leave paperwork, it leaves patterns. But lay these voices side by side, the old Tenzo, the 8-year-old at the school gate, the sutra, the tenement, and it clicks into place. That click is the evidence. It means the culture underneath is still alive, still flowing, still reaching the floor of a classroom. Listen to the opening line once more. To ask teachers to assume custodial duties is an absolute outrage. It's just as outrageous as it would be if we asked custodians to teach classes. Don Allen is not wrong. The one who cleans and the one who teaches hold two different jobs. Jobs are what people are hired for, trained for, paid for. If cleaning is a job, then swapping the two really is an outrage. But in this country, cleaning was something else long before it was ever a job. Not work. Conduct. The act of putting the place you use back in order, with your own hands. A job can be handed to the most qualified person. Conduct cannot. There is no one to hand it to. 20 minutes after lunch. A 10-year-old kneels in a school hallway, folds a rag, and wipes the floor. Nobody pays her. Nobody thanks her. Tomorrow she will do it again. 800 years before, under a blazing sun, an old Tenzo lays out food to dry, alone. Nobody ordered him, nobody would have blamed him for stopping. Between them sit a court that never swept for itself, a servant with a broom, a housewife with a textbook, and a stadium full of supporters with garbage bags. The two pairs of hands, 10 years old and 68, are doing the same thing. Others are not me. If not now, when?